a map that has the game actions and an int. We're going to call this action stamina cost map. Oops. And it's got to be a property. It can't be a field inside the interface. So I'm going to do a getter and setter on that. I don't actually want to set this, so let's only give it a getter. Cost map. And then what we want to do with this, and I am a huge fan of maps, by maps mean dictionaries, to decouple and reduce some complexity and expose things. So Carpenter is missing that property. So we're going to say public dictionary game actions int, and what do we call that? Action stamina map. We're going to say get. I'm going to return. I kind of do want a backing field on this though, and that's going to make things interesting. And I want a backing field because every time I do a get, I don't want to have to return a new map. Let's do game actions int action. I can't remember that. It's probably not a good sign if I can't remember what I just called it. Equals new. Boom. I'm going to do this. I'm using an object initializer to go ahead and say that for this character, for this class of Carpenter, for the game action fight, the cost is going to be 2. For the game actions, let's just do this in order, heal, two, 1, 3. Game actions, repair, 1. Carpenter good at repairing. Game actions, negotiate. Horrible at negotiating though. Okay, so, and then inside of my property, I'm just going to return the action cost map. And so the reason we have to do that is because inside of my contract, being my player action strategy, I can't have a field inside of an interface. Or I could, but no, can I? I don't think I can. So I need to implement my backing property. Okay. My backing field, I'm sorry. And then here, instead of my actor, I'm going to say action strategy map, game actions, fight. And this is going to return me back 2. So again, I'm making things less brittle. The more that I can abstract away these behaviors into something clean, the better off everything's going to be. Okay, and so eventually I want to do the same thing with this value. And what that's going to allow us to do is really a couple things. The more we can abstract out, the more we can start incorporating calculations and some really fun game mechanics. The more things that are hard-coded, the more isolated they are, really, from the rest of our game engine. Okay, so what did it actually gain us? It gained us the ability to, because we're making that available here, we can come back over to our base actor, and while this guy doesn't have access to the player strategy, if we go into our player class, we've got this, right? So we got fight, heal, repair, negotiate. And this is where we do have access to our strategy. So hang on, let me just review. Okay. So then instead of our base actor, we can't stop it from calling fight, unfortunately. So we might have to refactor where this goes. Oh, I'll tell you what we'll do. And we're a little bit over the hour, so we're going to do this, and we'll leave the other classes for for tomorrow. But definitely want to see this thought through. So what I want to be able to do is call something from my base class that's only going to be available inside of my concrete implementation, being the player. So the question becomes, how do I do that? Let's go here, and we will say public abstract. It's got to be virtual because we also have monsters inheriting this, and because we've got monsters inheriting it, we want to make this optional. So we're going to say virtual get stamina cost by action type. And I'm going to say game actions, game action, and I'm going to expect back a int. Let's say the return is 0. I do feel like either way there's going to be something that needs to be implemented. Can't avoid it. I wanted to avoid the monsters having to implement it, but I don't know that I can. Let's go simple at first. Alright, so now I've got this get stamina by action type. So now I can say, I don't have to say is exhausted, but I can do private bool has enough stamina. And then I can return, I need to pass in game actions dot game action has enough stamina for action. Return this dot stamina is greater to or equal to our get stamina by action type. I'm going to pass in the game action. And then I'm going to say if is exhausted or disabled. I do want a slightly different message for this, so I'm going to say if does not have enough stamina for the game action type, which is going to be action type, and then I'm going to return back a new response not enough stamina. Okay. Alright, so not too shabby. We're definitely adding in quite a bit of functionality here. So just to review, we now have the ability to check whether or not the actor or player or monster is exhausted, disabled, or has enough stamina, and we can short circuit, we can bounce right out without having to do anything further. The one thing that we're really missing is that now I need to implement this guy in my player. Now let's do this here. Public override. Get stamina, right? So then that work we just did for the map is going to be return action strategy dot action stamina cost map, which is a dictionary, so we go to the index of the game action and return back whatever number is appropriate for that class. Gasparin says stamina does not equal stamina. Well then, smarty pants. I mean, you're right. There's no getting around it. Good eye, by the way. Okay. So, been playing along this the start of week 7, where we're kind of deep diving and adding all these layers. We are kind of hoping for failure. We're hoping we hit a point where we have to really critically analyze what we've done and why we've done it. It's going to be a good learning experience. If things just happen to work out, I'll take that as well. But I don't think it's good for the soul to have things always work out in your favor. I think you need things to crash and burn sometimes. Gasparin says the private as well. I don't know where there was. Where's the private? What else did I miss? I mean, I bet I did, but where? Oh, I see. Okay, we're good. Man. Thank you, Gasparin. You want to come to work with me? You want to make sure I don't make any gaffes in the boardroom? Okay. So, what the little trick we just did there was we